Attention! Eggs may not be as safe as you think. The way you cook them can actually cause harm. Eggs are a treasure trove of protein, vitamins, and nutrients. But did you know that a simple fried egg can undermine your health, especially after the age of 60? Picture this. Breakfast. A hot pan, a sizzle, a pinch of salt. Or maybe you're boiling a soft egg, just like in childhood. Tasty, familiar, comforting. But behind this simplicity, there could be hidden dangers, from infections to blood pressure spikes. It all depends on how we prepare them. Eggs are truly beneficial, especially for older adults. But small mistakes in cooking or storage can turn them from a helpful food into a health risk. In women over 60, digestion, immunity, and blood vessels become especially sensitive. Infections, high cholesterol, food poisoning, weakness, headaches. All of it from one careless breakfast. The good news is, it's easy to fix. Let me show you which mistakes to avoid, so you get all the benefits from eggs, and none of the harm. Rate how helpful this video was for you in the comments from 1 to 10, and I'll ask you to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow our community. Many of us love soft-boiled eggs. A runny yolk, lightly salted, with soft bread or a slice of butter. A taste from childhood, right? Or sunny side up. The white cooked, the yolk still warm and runny. Seems perfect. You bring water to a boil, drop the eggs in. 5 minutes later, soft boiled on the table, or you fry them. The whites are still bubbling. The yolk looks like a little sun. A piece of bread, a cup of tea, breakfast is ready. Everything feels familiar. Home style. But in that undercooked egg may be an invisible threat, salmonella. And for a body over 60, that can be especially dangerous. Salmonella is a bacteria that can live in raw or undercooked eggs. A young person's immune system might handle it, but for older adults, especially those with chronic conditions, even a mild infection can become a serious issue. Vomiting, dehydration, blood pressure spikes, flare-ups of chronic diseases. Sometimes hospitalization is needed, especially if there's hypertension, diabetes, or a sensitive stomach. What seems like just a stomach upset can leave the body weakened for days or even weeks. And the worst part, you may not even realize where it started. After all, it was just soft-boiled eggs. How to stay safe. Boil eggs hard, at least 9 minutes after the water starts boiling, or steam them. The white and yolk should be fully set. Avoid runny yolk fried eggs and homemade tiramisu with raw yolks. But the danger isn't only in raw eggs. Even a well-cooked one can do harm, if you fry it the old-fashioned way, with oil and bacon. For many people, fried eggs aren't just breakfast. They're a piece of home, morning memories, a pan, sizzling butter or bacon, the smell of childhood, the feeling of warmth and fullness. Even today, it's quick, tasty, familiar, eggs plus butter, and the day begins. You heat up the pan, slice off a piece of butter. It melts, sizzles. You crack the eggs. The yolk spreads beautifully. The white turns golden. A pinch of salt, maybe a slice of sausage on the side, just like always. But that always can be deceptive. Frying in fat turns healthy eggs into a source of trouble, especially for blood vessels and the heart after 60. When frying in butter or with bacon, trans fats are formed, especially if the butter overheats. Bad cholesterol levels rise. The liver and blood vessels are put under strain. Blood pressure increases. Older women are especially vulnerable. Hormonal changes, a tendency toward hypertension, weakened vessels. All of this is made worse by regularly eating fried foods. It starts with heaviness after eating. Then, dizziness, brain fog, fatigue. After a couple of months, test results change, cholesterol, blood pressure, and then doctors say, Time to start medication. But it all started with an innocent fried egg. What you can do instead: steam eggs in silicone molds or in a slow cooker. Bake them in the oven without oil, tasty, tender, and safe. Use non-stick pans without oil, especially in the morning, but even a properly cooked egg can cause problems if it's stored incorrectly afterward. Sound familiar? You boil several eggs at once, just in case, to save time tomorrow, to have them ready for a snack, a salad. If I get hungry suddenly, it's convenient. But there's one but that people often forget. You boil 6 eggs, a couple go into the fridge, the rest you leave in a bowl on the kitchen counter. I'll peel them later. A few hours go by, room temperature is around 22 degrees. Everything looks fine, but inside, danger may already be growing. Even cooked eggs become breeding grounds for bacteria quickly if left at room temperature for more than 2 hours. A boiled egg without its shell is especially vulnerable. Without refrigeration, bacteria begin to multiply in just 2 to 3 hours. The risk of food poisoning rises. In older adults, the reaction can be much more severe than in younger people. Symptoms may not show up right away, but the next day, weakness, nausea, unexplained fatigue, dizziness. And rarely does anyone connect it to yesterday's egg. Poisoning can quickly lead to dehydration, especially in women with low blood pressure or chronic illnesses. A weakened immune system handles it poorly, and even a mild upset can throw you off for several days. How to stay safe? Store boiled eggs only in the fridge, no longer than 2 days. Storage temperature should be no higher than +44 degrees. If possible, don't peel them in advance. The shell is natural protection. And next, one more old-fashioned habit that seems healthy-like in the old days. But in reality, it can block vitamin absorption and harm memory. In the past, raw eggs were considered liquid health. People drank them on an empty stomach for strength, to ease coughing, or for the voice. Even children were given raw eggs mixed with milk to grow strong. And many still believe that raw eggs retain the maximum benefit. You crack a fresh egg into a cup. No heat treatment. Add it to batter or a homemade sauce. Or maybe you just drink it, as is. The old-fashioned way, with a spoonful of honey. It all feels natural, homey, and nourishing. But raw eggs can actually do more harm than good, especially to the nervous system, skin, and memory. First, like in soft or undercooked eggs, there's the risk of salmonella. But there's another, less obvious threat, a protein called avidin. This protein binds to biotin, vitamin B7, and blocks its absorption. Biotin is essential for the nervous system, skin and nail health, memory and concentration. The older we get, the harder it becomes to restore vitamin deficiencies, and raw eggs can make that deficiency worse. Eating raw eggs may lead to hair loss, dry, sagging skin, chronic fatigue, reduced attention, and mental slowness. In older adults, this is often blamed on just aging. But the real cause might be 1 or 2 healthy, raw eggs per week. How to do it right? Always cook eggs, boil, bake, or steam. If you want to keep the most nutrients, steam or bake without oil. Don't use raw eggs in creams, sauces, or baked goods without heat treatment. Now let's talk about a habit many people love, both at home and in cafes: fried eggs with sausage, mayo, or bacon. But what if that is the biggest threat to your blood vessels? Fried eggs with sausage, a slice of bacon, maybe a drop of mayonnaise. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? Many people are used to having breakfast like this. It's filling, it's fast, it's tasty, especially if you've grown up hearing, Eggs with sausage, that's a classic. The pan's heating up. A little oil. Slices of sausage start sizzling. On top, the eggs. The yolk stretches slightly. A sprinkle of salt, maybe some cheese, hot bread, strong tea, and breakfast is ready. It seems perfect. But behind that perfect lies a double hit to your blood vessels and blood pressure. Everything that gets added to eggs can cancel out their benefits, and sometimes even turn them harmful. Sausages, hot dogs, bacon, even homemade ones, contain preservatives and nitrites, strain on the liver and immune system, excess salt, fluid retention, blood pressure spikes, saturated fats and hidden sugar, cholesterol increases. And if you add mayonnaise on top, it becomes a bomb. Fat, plus salt, plus acids, plus egg. For women over 60, this combo increases swelling, causes heaviness, headaches, provokes blood pressure spikes, overloads the pancreas. A couple of hours later, fatigue, fluctuating blood pressure. By evening, swollen legs, stiff fingers. After a month, a sense of life feels heavier, I'm tired for no reason. And few people realize the issue lies in the usual add-ons to eggs. What to use instead? Eggs plus sautéed vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. Eggs plus fresh greens, a drizzle of olive oil, a bit of cottage cheese. Eggs baked in the oven with tomatoes, no oil or salt. It's light, tasty, satisfying, and truly healthy. Now that we've gone over the common mistakes, it's time to show the safest ways to cook eggs, so they become a real source of strength for your health. After all these concerning points, the question arises, so what now? Should we stop eating eggs altogether? Absolutely not. Eggs are still one of the most valuable foods, especially for women over 60. The key is to prepare them wisely, and now you'll learn exactly how to do that. Imagine. Morning. You boil an egg until hard. The white is firm, the yolk crumbly. Or you gently bake it in the oven with slices of zucchini and a sprinkle of herbs. On the table, fresh vegetables, a cup of warm tea, peace and clarity. That's the kind of breakfast that supports your health, not works against it. You can get all the benefits of eggs without harming your blood vessels, memory, or digestion. All it takes is a small shift in how you prepare them. Hard-boiled eggs. At least 9 minutes after boiling begins, both the white and yolk fully cooked, maximum protein, minimum risk steaming. Soft texture, no fat, no frying, easy to digest, even for sensitive stomachs. Baking in the oven, no oil or salt. Great with vegetables, convenient, tasty, safe. Combinations that support your health, with broccoli, green peas, zucchini, with arugula, spinach, parsley, a little cottage cheese, a spoon of olive oil, and breakfast is ready. Proper storage. Only in the fridge, no more than 2 days. Keep boiled eggs in the shell. Don't leave them out on the counter for later. This approach supports heart and blood vessel function, improves digestion, maintains mental clarity, boosts energy, helps avoid food poisoning, headaches, and blood pressure spikes. Now you know how to avoid harm from something as simple as an egg. Let's wrap things up and choose health. Every day, starting with breakfast. So yes, eggs are definitely healthy, but only when cooked properly and stored wisely. Small mistakes, like a raw yolk or sausage in the pan, can quietly chip away at your health, while the right habits become a solid foundation for your heart, digestion, circulation, and memory. Avoid these 5 key mistakes: undercooked eggs, frying in fat, storing outside the fridge, eating raw eggs, harmful pairings, sausage, mayo, bacon, and build these 5 good habits. Boil eggs hard, steam them, Bake in the oven, pair with vegetables and greens, store correctly, and no longer than 2 days. Make one simple change tomorrow. Swap the frying pan for a steamer. Swap sausage for fresh herbs. Swap the eyeball method for a full 9 minutes of boiling. Every morning can be a step toward longevity. Imagine, you wake up feeling refreshed, no heaviness, with a clear head. Your breakfast is light, delicious, and nourishing. Your heart is calm. Blood pressure is steady, and your body grateful for your care. If you learned something new, give it a like. Tell us how you usually cook eggs, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. They'll thank you for it.